Hi everyone, Ms. Kilroy here. Today we're going to do a really short slideshow presentation. I want you to turn to page 99, set it up C-note style, and write Law of Conservation of Mass as your title. Now please note you need to write down everything that is red on the screen. I want you to put that in your science notebook. So our first definition. The law of conservation of mass states, in chemical and physical reactions, matter can't be created or destroyed. So that just means atoms just can't come from anywhere and you can't destroy them. So however much you start with, that's how much you end up with. So the mass of the products must be equal to the mass of the reactants. Again, however much you start with, that's how much you end up with. Here's my example. If we start with 24 grams of hydrogen peroxide and we end up with 18 grams of water, how much O2 was produced? So try coming up with a prediction on your own and see if you're right. Okay, so we started out with 24. This produced 18. So the water plus the oxygen has to equal my starting amount of 24 grams. So if I started with 24, ended with 18 here, my answer would be 6 grams of oxygen was produced. So 6 grams of oxygen plus 18 grams of water gives us a total of 24 grams of hydrogen peroxide. The next part we're going to talk about is balancing chemical equations. Please write this down in your notebook. Please note that you can pause the video at any time if you need more time to write things down. You can also rewind. I want to show you this video before we move on. So this video is going to show us how atoms rearrange. They still stay in the same amount, however atoms you start with, that's how many you end up with.
There are 5 major classes of chemical reactions. A synthesis reaction is when 2 or more substances combine to form a single product.
There's no need to write this down, just listen and watch.
In a decomposition reaction, a compound breaks down into 2 or more simpler substances.
So notice the atoms are just being rearranged. You still start with the same amount, they just get moved differently to different products.
A single displacement reaction is when one element takes the place of another in a compound.
Bink!
In a double displacement reaction, the positive and negative portions of 2 ionic compounds interchange.
I think it's better with sound effects. So notice, same amount of atoms, just the rearrangement is different.
A combustion reaction occurs when a substance rapidly combines with oxygen to form 1 or more oxides and releases energy.
All right, so that just was a visual example of the law of conservation of mass. Basically, whatever you start with, that's how much you end up with. The atoms have just been rearranged into new compounds. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to click on the Show Me video, and you're going to continue taking notes from where you were before, but it's going to be a different app, so I want you to click on the Show Me video next.